Welcome again to our channel. My name is Kalambai and this is Fruitful Investment Strategies. If you've not subscribed, please make sure that you subscribe down on the bottom and click on the notice button on the notice bell so that every time we have a video you can be informed about it. And please give us a thumb up so that our videos can be recommended by YouTube to other viewers, and that will help us very much. So please share this video with many more that you know. And here we talk about money, we talk about investment, we talk about progress, we talk about talk about personal development in business, and in all terms we talk about business. So if you're interested in business, this is the right channel to follow. This is the popular channel to follow, and this is where it happens. Real estate is talked about here, and everything that concerns you and your loved ones. Today I want to talk about the Tunisian crisis. Heard about the Tunisian president Said, who's claiming that the sub-Saharan African immigrants or migrants threaten the country's identity. I wonder, one thing I really do wonder, is what has the black African or the sub-Saharan African done to the world? Everywhere they go, they are really stigmatized, or the stigma about black people is really causing fear in the world. They're stigmatized to be criminals, they're stigmatized to be murderers, rapers. You have heard many stories in the United States whereby a white woman is calling the police on a black man on his land where he was trying to wash a car, and the police came to arrest him without even hearing him out. And this is what Tunisia is doing. Tunisia is one of these African countries. Tunisia is an African country. It's an African country with African people. Even though they are Arabic of origin, but they are African people. But yet, these African Tunisians, who are actually Arabs, they're trying to stigmatize African immigrants who are coming from the sub-Saharan African and calling them a problem. And this is not just the Tunisian people, but it's all over the world. Go in Brazil, you find the same thing. Black people are really stigmatized. Recently, there was a Congolese who was murdered and killed in Brazil. He couldn't get paid. What is wrong? What has the skin color has to do with how people view us? You can be as educated as you can be, but as long as you are black, does not mean anything to anyone. You can be, I don't know, a great person, but as long as you are black, does not mean anything to anyone. And that's what I've realized. See how the black people are being killed in the Mediterranean Sea. When they're fleeing actually from Tunisia and from Libya, from enslavement, because these people have been enslaved in the Arab world. And many of them are being enslaved from Saudi Arabia up to Morocco. Many of these black Africans are being enslaved. They're being kept in what? In prisons, out of their own will. And these are groups, criminal groups, who are keeping them to actually make them slaves, make them work. We are talking about slavery being abolished, but slavery is still continuing in this modern world. Let's go and talk about this Tunisian president. The Tunisian president Said claims sub-Saharan African migrant threatens country's identity. In an official statement, the head of state said the immigrant was part of a criminal plan to change the composition of demographic landscape of the country. He's saying in an official statement, the head of the state said that the immigration was part of a criminal plan to change the composition of the demographic landscape of the country. So in other words, they're saying that there is a criminal band which is sending actually black people into the country of Tunisia from sub-Saharan African, and to go into Tunisia and to live there and to really change the people who are there. In other words, making more black people in Tunisia than there is, and actually diminishing the number of Arabs in the country. A head state quoted in a statement from the presidency of the Republic. So you can see, guys, how this is really dangerous. And he continues saying, if I can jump, it says, Kais Saied has finally appropriated a far-right narrative of migration that would never have been tolerated if it had been expressed in Europe on the irregulation of migrants of Tunisia, commended anthropologist Kenza Ben Azouz, specialist in racism in Tunisia. By scapegoating the sub-Saharan community without fundamentally addressing the immigrant issue, he anchors himself in a populist, opportunist legalist. How crazy is that? While you have 0.5% of black people or sub-Saharan African people who are actually living into the country as immigrants. And most of these are going, this is approximately between 20 to 50,000 people who are going, most of them, to Europe. And we see that stigma as well in Southern Europe, where people are not wanted because of their skin color. See that Tunisia has 30,000 and 50,000 to 50,000 Southern immigrants, according to local NGOs, a population that provide cheap labor force and everyone benefits from, and that is tolerated by the state despite the fact that it is illegal. Emphasized Ben Azouz. Many of these immigrants do not stay in the Maghreb. However, last year, half of the 22,000 migrants who arrived illegally in Europe, especially in Italia, from Tunisia, were of sub-Saharan origin. These departures were motivated by the country's economic situation, the complexity of the regularization procedures, but also of the result of immigrants there. So you can see how they're stigmatizing that they're eating cuts, and that is the reason that they should send them back. So this is really a situation which we have really to care about and really to go into the deepness of this world that we are living in. We are not being accepted for being black. As long as you are black, whatever you do really does not have anything to do with what you do or how you behave yourself, but it has to do everything with your skin color. And this is what Tunisia, Africans are going through in Tunisia. People are being murdered. People are being killed. People are being enslaved because of what? Of their skin color. This has to stop. Why? Why do black Africans have to suffer? And that's what really I'm really concerned. But the other thing I have to say is that why can't we fix our continent? Why can't we fix our countries so that we can stop the migration? The responsibility is not just on the side of those who are persecuting us. The responsibility is also on our side. We who are being persecuted, what are we doing about it? What are we doing about it? Our president, our communities, our leaders are corrupted. And if we continue to be corrupted, and if you continue to really receive corruption from the other side, we'll end up being extinguished from the world. This is what Martin Luther was saying. This is what Malcolm X was saying. Look, we have to take responsibility of ourselves. We are not wanted in France. Look at all the Africans who are in France. How poor they are. They sleep on the streets. Some of them sleep in a house with, you have 30 people sleeping in a house with one bedroom. This is a crisis. This is an issue. People want to be in Europe for Europe's sake. People want to go outside of the country. Kenyans who want to go to the Arab world. just for the sake of going. What's wrong? And when they reach there, they're enslaved. So, the Tunisians are Arabs. They are no more Africans. You see, all these Arab countries, they can't really express themselves. They can't really identify themselves as Africans. They identify themselves as Arabs. But we are on the continent of Africans. Then what is wrong with the world today that we live in? I think black people have to wake up. They have to be self-conscious of who they are. They have to be self-conscious of where they stand. We have to build ourselves from the inside to the outside. We have to make ourselves respected. And our authorities have to do something. Because now we are facing a very difficult situation around the world. And this is what is happening in Tunisia is not unique to Tunisia. This is not unique to Libya. This is not unique to Egypt. This is not unique to Morocco. This is not unique to Sudan. This is not unique to Mauritania. And this is not unique to the United States. This is not unique to France. This is not unique to Norway. This is not unique to China. This is all over the world. And this is a population which gives them cheap labor. And they enjoy the cheap labor. But when it comes to integrating these immigrants into the society, no, they are not wanted. And that's the wrong thing. A united Africa, which will really bring peace, prosperity, and development. That's the problem we are facing in this country. Everywhere we go, there is a stigma of black people. I'm not saying all Tunisians are like that. I'm not saying, but that is the common, that's how it is in the society. So if you've not subscribed, please subscribe to this channel and follow us. And make sure that you comment on this video. We want to have more subscribers. Please subscribe. Subscribe to our channel and be part of this channel. Follow us, comment, and share and like.